So now we are going to be going over the basic punches and why it's important to know them. So number one punch that is used in boxing, the most effective weapon we have, is the jab. So with the jab, as always, our hands are nice and high, elbows are in. From here, I need to step. There is no punch in boxing that comes without a step, a pivot, or moving your hips and feet. Everything needs to have one of those behind it. So as Pamorn brings his fist out and extends his arm, his left foot is going to slightly step. Notice how his chin is tucked in, his right hand hasn't dropped. It is perfect. It's evenly balanced on his feet. Now if he wants to double the jab up, he's thrown the single jab. From here it returns to his chin and he steps again. Notice how he doesn't throw the first jab and then leave his feet where they are and throw the second. He needs to take 2 steps, 1 step per jab. Perfect. The common mistakes that we see when throwing the jab is the rear hand dropping, which is going to leave you vulnerable for counter strikes, maybe a counter left hook. Another one that we see is the arm not fully extending. So stopping there. With that, his chin is not tucked in. If he steps and fully extends his arm, turns his hand over, automatically his chin will be tucked in behind his chin as so. So if we go back to the beginning, fully step, turn, and now his chin is tucked in behind his shoulder, perfectly balanced, arm fully extended, and that is the jab. One more common mistake that we see is dropping the hand before you throw the jab. So the punch should come straight from the chin and return to the chin, just like so. But what we see commonly is people dropping their hand before they throw and then bring the hand out. What I want you to think is imagine you are grabbing something off of the shelf. I grab and return straight back to my face, grabbing and returning. So the next punch we're going to go over is the cross. So as you can see, we have ended our jab. His arm is fully extended, elbow tucked in. From here we want to throw our cross. The arm is going to come out. As you can see, Pamorn's hip is turned through. He has twisted his rear foot. His chin is tucked in behind his shoulder and his knuckles are slightly turned over at the end. That is a perfect right hand. So now we're going to put it together. We are going to throw the jab and the cross. And now in full speed, jab, cross. Stepping with each punch, fully extending your arms and turn those knuckles over at the end. Remember, your hands come back to your chin, they're never down by your side. The next punch is the left hook. Start with the whole combination, the jab, the cross. We are now adding on the hook. As you can see, he has turned his hip. Pamorn has pivoted on his front foot and his arm is all horizontal and it is at just about eye level. That's where we want to be. Okay, now we've ended with the left hook, we are going to throw the right hook. So, as you can see again, Pamorn's hip has been turned. He has twisted his foot and he's on the ball of his feet, he's not on his heels. Same thing, his arm and his wrist are eye level, everything is tucked in perfectly. Okay, so a question that I get asked a lot is where should my hand be when I'm throwing my left hook or my right hook? So if Pamorn was to throw his left hook, notice how his wrist or his thumb is facing the ceiling. Some people like to have their thumb facing the floor, and there is no right or wrong with how your hand is placed. It's like some people say tomato and some people say tomato. There's no wrong or right, it's just whatever feels better for you or the distance that you are at. So personally, if I'm at long range, I like to have, or long or mid range, I like to have my hand in this position with my thumb facing the floor. But if I'm at close range and my hook is shorter, then my thumb will be facing the ceiling. So now we are moving into the uppercuts. So we're going to start off with the left uppercut. As you can see, Pamorn is on the ball of his feet, his chin is tucked in, his elbow is down, his fist is at eye level, and everything is tucked in, his feet are balanced and ready to go. Now we're moving into the right uppercut. So from there, same thing. He's on the ball of his foot, his hip has turned, his back foot has pivoted, and his wrist is at eye level.